It was a 50-50 shot on whether you'd be going left or right. You see, we're both going left, but you could have just as easily been going left too. And if that was the case, it would have been a while before you started getting scared. But since you're going the other way, I'm afraid you're going to have to start getting scared immediately. All Guts So Gory presents Death Proof.
Buckle up, because a new kind of terror is coming at 200 miles per hour.
Ladies, we're gonna have some fun. There are a few things as fetching as a bruised ego and a beautiful angel.
Is that cowboy wisdom?
I'm not a cowboy, Pam. I'm a stuntman.
Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof.
This car is 100% death proof. Only to get the benefit of it, honey, you really need to be sitting in my seat.
The mad and macabre.
Oh, what monster could have done this?
I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Wake up, little girl.
Playtime's over.
We don't know what death is.
Sliced and diced.
Welcome to the All Guts So Gory podcast. Our conversation today is on Quentin Tarantino's fifth feature film, Death Proof. I'm Stuntman Mike, joined by Jungle Justin and Charlie. Do you want to be Butterfly or Shayna?
Butterfly, Charlie.
Ooh, well, I'm ready for my lap dance.
It's not going to happen. I already gave Justin a lap dance.
You already broke the dance card off.
Lies. You haven't broken that off. I know you haven't. You look too shade.
Yeah. Too shade?
Whatever he says.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. That's what he said. But
I'm like, that was a stretch there.
Yep.
Hey, does everybody have a nice, tasty beverage?
of course.
Tasty beverage?
I got some Jim Beam
That
and
is
a
a
little
taste-
Bud Light to stay hydrated.
That is a tasty beverage.
That's right. Well, welcome
Says that
back,
in
Charlie.
4 different movies.
Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off. I was trying to welcome Charlie back from vacation.
Thanks, Justin.
You missed the Planet Terror episode. Since we're doing the second half of the Grindhouse double feature here, Charlie, do you want to give your thoughts on Planet Terror real quick before we jump into Death Proof?
I don't know if I missed it.
Not a fan?
I'm a big zombie fan. I'm even a Tarantino fan. But the throwback that he uses in both movies, the scratchy film, the bad sound, and all that kind of stuff, I appreciate that. But when some kid kills himself in a car,
I told you, Mike.
That kind of takes me out of it. That's too. It's too far. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
A bridge
well,
too far.
So one thing I brought up on the podcast is if this is a double feature, but on the DVD, if you have the separate DVDs where the films are in full length, there's an end credit scene where Tony is playing on the beach with his little pets, his tarantula and his scorpion and his turtle, that he actually lived happily ever after, made it to the end. Maybe it was just a flesh wound, but yeah,
he's in heaven.
Okay, there's that too, but yeah. So all right, so did you happen to see this double feature? My God, this double feature in the theater.
I don't remember that I did. I think what I rented it. I rented the double DVD or double Blu-ray, either through Blockbuster when it 2007 or 2008. Now that was probably like Netflix, and they're still sending out DVDs. But I did watch them back to back, and I do appreciate the drive-in movie format. I mean, no notes there. I mean, he really captured it, but I feel like this whole thing was some kind of fucking Tarantino, Rodriguez, Weinstein producer, by the way.
Yeah.
We can get into that.
He's on a couple that we like.
But
what can you do?
But I can tell you what Rose McGowan did, and I'm pretty sure it was because of this fucking film.
No, it was before this film.
Okay, but yeah, it was. I mean, I wanted to like it so much, but I don't like the clipping and the backtrack, redo it the last second.
The bad editing, the bad.
I mean, it is art. I will say that it is art. They're just not good movies.
Wow,
fair enough.
Hard take. Okay, let me just recap. Sarah started the episode that Planet Terror was a 5. After 2 bourbons and talking it out and remembering all the fun parts, she ended up
being
like a 7
worn down.
Probably. Let's be honest. She ended at a 7 or an 8, right? So she jumped up quite a bit. Now, Mike, I know this is your episode, so I don't want to step on too much of it, but I think seeing it in the movie theater was pivot. Like, it was clutch, right? I think it gave everybody. We all laughed at the awkward parts together. We all flinched and said, "Oh shit," and laughed at the same gruesome parts at the same time, right? Gave us permission to laugh at some stuff that if you're at home by yourself, maybe in the daytime, you can see light from the window or whatever. It's a little more sober and you don't laugh at those moments.
Sure. Yeah, and especially just like all the other things like the trailers in between an intermission, the machete trailer to start Planet Terror off, like all that stuff was just made it an experience if you went to the theater to see it.
I really, really, really wish that they would bring this back to a drive-in. Like if St. Clair would play this, a double feature, I would have 100% go if it was the middle of summer with all the mosquitoes out. Because it really does have, it has like those little, the after movie or the like the pre-movie cartoon credit things, which are like, I mean, it, like I said, this movie sequence, because it's 2 movies, this double feature is art. I mean, it is a beautiful thing that he did. And I know it sounds weird, but at the same time, I don't really like either of the movies, but I will go watch them if it ever shows up in a drive-in.
I think 100%. Watching it at the theater was like watching one giant movie, right? Like the trailers and the commercials and even the title cards and everything was all back to back and like all curated to be one experience.
But could you imagine that coming through? Because the drive-in that we all know of has like that FM channel. But could you imagine hearing it come, the popping and the clicking volume, the audio coming through, and then you're sitting out there watching it, and between movies, there's going to be like an intermission or for the movie, you can go to like the classic drive-in concession area where you go through the turnstile area type thing with the popcorn. I mean, it's just like gold. It's gold.
Not made for the living room is what you're saying.
What's that?
Not made for your living room viewing is what you're saying.
Yeah. No. It really loses a lot when you go even from the drive-in to the movie theater. Even in the theater, it loses a lot. When you watch it at home, it definitely loses a lot.
Right, because you're changing the input on your TV, you're switching out the DVDs, you're interacting with chapters on this stuff. You've got distractions everywhere. I feel like it's one of those eat your stuff, watch this, and,
like even setting it up on a projector in your backyard would be cool. Better, I feel like, than watching it in a theater. Because then it is really set up as a drive-in double feature. Yeah. Anyway.
I'll tell you why I picked Death Proof for this episode. Basically because Justin stole one of my picks with Planet Terror. We talked about that on the last episode. Just like I stole Martyrs from Charlie.
So, no, you didn't.
So I decided to just complete the Grindhouse double feature here because why the fuck not? it's thinly veiled as horror. Planet Terror is full blown horror, zombie horror movie. This one, a little more thinly veiled. We're not the gatekeepers of horror, obviously. We talked about that. There's horror elements. There's a killer. There's someone hunting and stalking women.
For sure.
In the UK, this was nominated in the category of Best Horror Film at the Empire Awards. So it is balls in the bucket, according to some people. And, along with that, it's also, I think it's just a great, fun flick. Kurt Russell's one of my favorite guys. I think your guys as well. There's a reason we picked The Thing to do as our first episode. Tarantino, love him or hate him, he's got a magic touch when it comes to reminding us that certain actors still got it. Kurt Russell, huge in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, a little iffy. He gets into the kid stuff with Sky High, and then Tarantino brings him in to be stuntman Mike. He's got fast cars, great music, attractive women. Kurt Russell. What more could you possibly ask for?
Nothing.
No nudity.
And no nudity, yeah. You did not have to twist my arm to sit through another 2-hour film after Planet Terror ended. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Justin, you got any thoughts on Death Proof?
Death Proof. Oh my gosh. I walked out liking Death Proof when I saw it in the theater. I walked out thinking this was the weaker in ways. In artistic vision, it might have, in like cohesive thought and all that stuff and dialogue, it might have been better technically than Planet Terror, but it was a lot less fun in my books. And maybe because it was the second part of the double feature, it feels like it hit those brakes hard, right? At least for the first 30 minutes. It's like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're just watching the first 20 minutes, we're just watching the girls go from place to place and them talk about their love lives and things like that, and it's crazy. It's a gear shift from Planet Terror.
Yeah. And if you all don't know, we're 3 men, so
yes.
I don't think we can't really relate to the struggles of the 3 women and then later 4 women and their discussions on various things like hooking up and who they're hooking up with and how to score weed and all that other kind of stuff. And
the Quentin,
we need to get into it because I have notes.
To Quentin's credit, most of the stuff they were talking about was pretty universal though, right? Like with the scoring the weed and stuff, but the being pressured into do lap dances and all those other stuff was very written by a man through a woman's eyes, and I don't know if it fully, captured what it's like to be there.
We'll talk about it. Like I got some notes on that. But so let's start with the tagline here. There's not really one on the poster, but there's 2 of them I found for this. One is white hot terror at 200 miles per hour. And then the other one is pretty simple. These 8 women are about to meet one diabolical man.
9 women.
It doesn't really.
Right?
I guess no, it's 8.
I guess Lee stayed home. Lee stayed at the thing, so she didn't get to meet him.
The 4 in the second half, the 3 in the first half.
Lee.
Plus Pam.
3 in the second half because Lee stayed.
Lena, who shows up late to the party.
I didn't count.
But so anyway, those are the taglines, and then. Yeah, this is a Quentin Tarantino joint. It's his 5th feature film following Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2, which count as one film. I believe they just released this past year, or not, maybe in the last few months. Kill Bill, like what's it called? Like the whole damn
bloody
story.
Affair.
Whole bloody affair. Yeah, the whole.
Did they play it as
story.
one movie?
They play it as one movie. It's 4.5 hours long.
4.5 hours long.
I'm sure there's some extended scenes in there.
That's like 3 hours past your limit.
I'll allow it.
You'll allow it this one time.
Yeah. No, have you ever watched the Godfather edit where they edit 1 and 2 together?
Yeah.
It's literally 7 hours, and I watched it one day.
Mm-mm.
Bro, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, extended version, so I ain't no long movies.
Have you ever watched 2 extendeds in a row of The Lord of the Rings, or no?
I tried to watch all 3 in one day.
You tried, or you did?
Tried. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Start yelling things.
It's inhumanly possible.
So so after we get Death Proof, which is number 5, he did Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, came out in 2019, is the last film we got of his. Do you guys have a top 3 favorite Tarantino films or a ranking?
Easy top 3.
Go for it, Charlie.
Okay. I would put Django as number 1.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction number 2. And why did I say easy? Because number 3 is not easy. 3, I would put probably Dusk Till Dawn.
I mean, that's one he wrote.
Well, I'm counting that one.
I mean,
I'm counting
you can count it. It's not one he counts as his own because he didn't direct it. But if you want to count it,
but it was written by,
and he's in
it. Yeah, he's in it all over it. I count it as a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Justin? Can I do mine in no particular order?
Sure.
No.
I have to.
No,
Kill Bill.
Charlie said no.
Kill Bill 1 or 2.
Well, I thought we were saying it's one movie.
2. Okay.
It counts as one, yeah.
Inglourious Bastards and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He's got so many good ones. God damn, he's got so many good ones.
Yeah. I mean, Pulp Fiction is top for me. Maybe I'm a simp. I don't know. It's so good. It's on
good.
TV. I stop and watch it. I mean, it's so many memorable scenes. It kind of changed how people made movies. I feel like it changed how people talk in movies. It's iconic. Reservoir Dogs number 2, and then Inglourious Bastards number 3 for me. Inglourious Bastards is so good. Django's good. I mean, I love all of his films.
Inglourious Bastard would probably be my number 4, but yeah.
Like The Hateful Eight is my least favorite, and I still like it a lot.
No, Death Proof is my least favorite.
I guess Death Proof is got to be on the list, right? So what's everybody's bottom 3 then?
Death Proof number the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'll just put Death Proof 3 times.
Death Proof.
Maybe Jackie Brown, Death Proof.
I'd probably have Hateful Eight, Jackie Brown, and Death Proof in the bottom. Yeah,
I liked Hateful Eight a lot.
I mean, I like it a lot.
Story, but
I mean, we're splitting hairs here. It's
what else is he? What other movies does he have out there?
He's got 10, right? 10 and done.
Like if another director did The Hateful Eight, it's probably one of their best movies.
If it came out the same way.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But given the other things he's done, The Hateful Eight just for me doesn't compare with the others.
Hateful Eight just feels like a Western version of like Reservoir Dogs, kind of. We're all in the same place. Gets bloody. We're all shooting each other.
Yeah, somebody's like, there's a lie, like someone's keeping a secret. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, okay. I would go with Jackie Brown.
Yeah, that one, bro.
Proof. And I mean, it says 4 Rooms is a Tarantino movie.
But only one segment. He did one.
He only did one segment.
That last segment.
So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to throw Grindhouse in there too. It's my bottom 3.
That's
Jackie Brown, Grindhouse, and Death Proof. Everything else is solid gold.
Yeah. So at this point, we're 7 years removed from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He said for a long time that his 10th film will be his last one. At one point, I think it was going to be a Star Trek film. At another time, it was going to be a film about a movie critic. I can only hope if that's the case, John Lovitz plays the lead. Lately, there's rumors that he'll make a film based on the television show within Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Bounty Law Western TV show. Yeah. It's anyone's best guess at this point, I think, what his 10th and supposedly final movie will be.
He's
but I'm
still
sure
got so much
it will be
left.
Incredibly anticipated. when it happens.
I don't think he'll stop at 10.
I don't know.
I would have stopped at
waiting
3
a long time
and just be like living on the beach somewhere. But
he's got a lot of feet left to record.
Yeah.
Feet ain't going nowhere.
Dude, this one had this Death Proof had to be the most foot time in the whole thing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. It starts off with it. So
yeah,
let's we'll save the cast talk for as we go throughout the film, because there's two separate groups that Stuntman Mike is going to hunt or stalk throughout, and we'll talk about them as we get there. So we mentioned on the Planet Terror pod, the budget for the Grindhouse films combined was about $67 million. I think I read it was 30 million was on Death Proof and the rest on Planet Terror. It grossed 31.1 million. In some countries, they were released separately, like a month apart instead of the double feature. So they must have split the revenue for the double features and gave Death Proof its own revenue. And long story short, a bit of a flop. The American release date was April 6th, 2007. The top grossing film at the box office for this week was Blades of Glory, the Will Ferrell, John Wayne comedy, the figure skating comedy, which is topical given that the Winter Olympics are currently going on, or actually about to end, I think, once this comes out. But yeah, topical nonetheless. Death Proof was nominated for a Palme d'Or at Cannes, right?
Potato.
Yeah, I guess they didn't see Blades of Glory over there.
They missed
that was not nominated.
They're missing out.
And then I mentioned earlier, nominated for Best Horror at the Empire Awards, which is in the UK. That lost to 28 Weeks Later. Bloody hell, biased, slimy bastards. They're just biased. The Brits pick their own movie.
28 Weeks Later was pretty darn good.
Pretty good.
Rotten Tomatoes.
28 days.
Rotten Tomatoes 67% for Death Proof. Yep. Roger Ebert gave the double feature of Planet Terror and Death Proof 2.5 stars. He called Death Proof the more enjoyable half of the bill, but it was marred by overlong scenes of expository dialogue. I think we all agree, at least on that last sentence.
Wait till I get on my soapbox.
Tarantino even said back in 2012 this was the worst movie that he's made, but if this was the worst he ever does, he's good with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's
I mean, I think that's that self-deprecating for people to be like, it wasn't that bad, Quentin.
Right. So if you watch this in the theater, you got the Machete trailer before the Planet Terror film, and then you got some more trailers during the intermission before we get into Death Proof. Those trailers include, we could talk about these if you want, Werewolf Women of the SS by Rob Zombie. Not my favorite. Like, if this was a real one, would you go see it?
Yes, hell yes.
I wouldn't go see it, but I would watch it on like Amazon Prime or something, Prime Video.
I'd go see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't that into it, and then they're like Nicolas Cage as Fu Manchu, and I don't even know what he's doing. But I'm like, okay, this got funnier. So there's that one. Don't. Haunted House Looks Like movie by Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright made this trailer. Don't.
Big fan
go in
of
the
Edgar
house.
Wright.
Don't go down the stairs. Don't close your eyes.
Yeah.
Don't open your eyes.
What is the Edgar Wright
Don't
trilogy?
look up. Don't look down.
The Cornetto trilogy?
What is the Edgar Wright trilogy?
Yeah, the Cornetto. So that's Sean and then Hot Fuzz and then just Sean. Sean, Hot Fuzz, and
Shaun of the Dead.
The World's End. Right?
Yeah.
I
love those movies.
So I would definitely go see Don't look like a good
Don't
time.
look good.
But the dude in the basement with like the baby dolls, I don't know what that was.
That was Nick Frost, I think.
Yeah, it was. But that whatever that creature was doing, weird stuff. Apparently, back in the day, British movies would often have an American narrator for their trailers because the characters in the trailer aren't speaking any dialogue. So you get an American narrator so that when these movies would be played in America, you wouldn't know until you were in the theater and the movie started that it was British.
That's funny.
So that people would not be like, "Oh, I'm not going to go see that British."
That's for the Charlies of the world.
Sneaky Brits.
Right?
If it's French, it's even more American, probably, the voice.
Then we also, after that, we get Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. This trailer was actually going to give the Grindhouse double feature an NC-17 rating. It needed so much editing to get it down to where it would fit the R. They also purposely damaged the film in some spots to hide some things in order to get an R rating and allow this trailer to be in there. This trailer they made into a feature-length movie that came out a few years ago.
A lot more stuff from the trailer made it into the movie than I remembered.
Yeah, I think the trailer was hilarious. This was my big takeaway. What was almost, aside from the movies, I was like, that trailer's fucking awesome, and that should be a movie. And it took forever for them to do it. Machete got made first, but I was like, Thanksgiving needs to be made. It definitely needs to be made. White meat, dark meat, all will be stuffed.
No leftovers.
No leftovers.
It was mid.
Oh, it's so good. It was so good. Michael Bihn's in it. The massacre on the street, he like just puts his finger on like the blood and tastes it, and he's like, it's blood. He's like, son of a bitch. It's just so good. I love it.
I mean, that's like every cop show. They're like, they taste the cocaine.
Right.
Rub it on your gum.
Shit. This is pure shit.
Yeah.
Just a little fingerful.
Yep.
Or knifeful.
I mentioned in the Planet Terror pod that in Canada they got one extra trailer in the double feature, which was Hobo with a Shotgun. Canadian filmmaker.
Not seen that yet.
Yeah, Canadian filmmaker Jason Eisner entered it into a trailer competition at the South by Southwest Festival, which was judged by Robert Rodriguez. It won first prize in that competition, and it got the funding to be turned into a feature film, which 3 years later was released in 2010. So
Rutger
there's
Hauer.
that. Rutger Hauer. Hobo with a Shotgun is dark comedy, maybe more than a horror, but I may pick it for shits and giggles one day. I like it.
Yeah.
There's some crazy fucked up shit in it.
I mean, you can shoehorn it in the gory part, right? All the guts.
Oh my god, yes, absolutely.
Now I have to see it.
I mean, it's called Hobo with a Shotgun. It's awesome. Let's make it a group
title.
watch. Let's make it a group watch.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Let's do that. All right. So, you guys ready to jump in to the movie?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Right. Can I start off with? I'll let you start off, and then I want to get on my soapbox for a minute.
Okay. So this movie opens with feet. I think we all know that's Quentin Tarantino's thing. Nothing wrong with that as long as it's consensual. As long as those feet are consensual, it's his thing. It's whatever.
As long as they're clean feet, you know.
Oh, you into feet, Justin? As long as they're clean?
No. I won't object to them.
Nothing wrong with that.
How about that?
Nothing wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Nobody wants to see gargoyle feet, but I mean,
somebody out there does.
Feet out there, but I don't want to kiss them.
Somebody out there does.
No, that's Quentin's thing.
So we get the feet up in the on the dash as the car's driving down the road. We get a quick title card for a frame flashes across that says Quentin Tarantino's Thunderbolt. It's there for like 2 or 3 frames until it cuts to a black title card that says Death Proof. So I don't know if Thunderbolt was the working title or if this is one of those cool Grindhouse things that they did to make you feel like you're watching a B movie. But you know, Tarantino loves to be cool. He loves to try to be cool, and it's one of those things. You know, like the first scene where we're still going through the credits. Jungle Julia, played by Sidney Poitier, lays on the couch. She lays on her couch in the same pose as this giant picture of Brigitte Bardot on the wall above her. It's him trying to be cool. It's like, here's this movie star laying out, and then she just gets on the couch right underneath her and lays out in the same pose. It's just cool shit that he puts in there. Before we talk about our opening trio of women here, Charlie, do you want to do your soapbox?
Okay, let me climb up first. Okay, so we all know who Quentin Tarantino is and what he is really good at. And he's really good at camera angles, and he is really good at character dialogue. I feel like this movie was a little bit of he was full of himself, and he thought that he could just do a movie that was a 90-minute movie that was 79 minutes of just nonsensical, not nonsensical, but like dialogue between characters that had nothing to do with the movie. It didn't add anything to the movie. And I get that he does a lot of that in his other movies, but it always had worked up until this point and has always worked since. And I think he figured that out after making this movie, that you just can't have characters prattle on for 35 minutes that has nothing to do with the plot, that doesn't tell you anything, that doesn't build to anything, and then have 6 minutes of action interlude, and then another 35, 40 minutes of people talking about their lives. And like, I'm not watching a Tarantino movie for this. I'm watching a Tarantino movie for 60 minutes of action or gore or like stuff going on, and the other 30 minutes of his witty dialogue and the power that he wields with dialogue. But this movie was like, I'm going to make a movie where it's 35 minutes of talk, it's 5 minutes of action, followed by another 35 minutes of talk, and all the talk has no character development. You could do all of that in like 2 minutes, and followed by another 5 or 6 minutes of action. And I'm going to do that because I'm Quentin Tarantino, and I think that people are going to love it. And I'm going to be called Quentin Tarantino, the God of Dialogue. And that's why I hate this movie. I don't hate.
Wow.
Let me take that back. I don't hate this movie. I don't like this movie. And I like
how's the
Quentin
weather up there,
Tarantino's
Charlie?
movies.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly, a little frosty.
If I could jump in, the extended version of this, which was like 113 minutes, was broken down like this. There was 45 to 48 minutes of dialogue and set. This is just the first half. The first half where we're in Austin. 45 to 48 minutes of dialogue and setup, 7 to 8 minutes of action in the first half. In the second half, there's 58 total minutes, 40 minutes of dialogue and setup, and at most 20 minutes of action. So it's like this is a 70,
making my case.
75 or 80, 80, 20, 75, 25, depending on how which cut you're doing. But this is a lot of talking, right?
It was too much. I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. He drove that out of me with so much dialogue. I was like, fuck all of them. I want them all to die. I don't give a shit.
Wow.
I just move on. Just move on.
So Robert Rodriguez decided to take a different approach on how he was honoring the Grindhouse movies. And it seems like Quentin Tarantino was trying to pace it like some of the other Grindhouse movies that were more like cop chases, car chases, things like that, where it's like the movie's a lot of, just talking and stuff, but, then there's car chase, then there's, killing or something like that. So it was him trying to pay homage to a certain type that lives in his mind, right? His favorite one, but like nobody wanted that, is what I'm saying.
He did it wrong. There should have been like 5 to 10 minutes of dialogue, good, solid, tight, classic Tarantino car chase. We could have done 3 parts of him killing the first group, a second group being killed, and then we get to the third group where he's way out of his element. It was just too much fucking dialogue.
I'll push back
15 minutes in, I'm like, fuck you guys.
I got to push back too, Mike, but you go. You haven't got to talk in 10 minutes.
I'll push back a little. I think the opening trio of girls, as we meet them in the first, they're riding in the car, they're going to get their margaritas and Mexican food for lunch. And there's a lot of dialogue about like trying to score pot, but they're also like introducing some of the characters we may meet later. Like they're talking about Arlene and who's Butterfly, like the guy that she's kind of hooking up with, and how did that go? And should we call so and so to score some pot? And they're like, no, we don't want to be dependent or depending on them. And so some of this is just kind of setting up like how the rest of their night's going to go. And then after the dialogue part, we see the Chevy Nova, the car with the skull and crossbones, following them. So now we're like, okay, they're being followed. And now we're invested in where they go. The next part, I mean,
you're right.
It's like,
but
once they get to the restaurant, there's a new friend, and then we get to talk about the bet about having to, if somebody comes up and says this to you, you got to give them a lap dance, that whole thing. And then you're like, okay, that went on a little too long. When they get to Texas Chili House or Texas Chili Parlor or whatever, then you see Stuntman Mike is there, right? You see, because also in the extended version, you see him waiting outside of the Mexican restaurant for them to come out. And so he's following them. He's got pictures of him in his visor. He's stalking this specific group of girls for some reason. And so the tension is building. And then when he, I feel like the tension's building the whole time for that first half. The second half, when they pick up Zoe Bell from the airport and they're having their conversation about why they're together and they're off set for 3 days, that I will give you. A lot of that did not advance the story, had nothing to do with anything, didn't do anything for anyone until like 30 minutes later into that part. Zoe finally brings up like, I got the paper and there's a 1970 Dodge Challenger, the same one from Vantage Point, for sale in this town. I want to go test drive it. Like, then we're getting to the point. So there was definitely like 30 minutes of the second half that had nothing to do with anything. I'll give you that.
There's 20 in both halves, right? So the first half, every time Kurt Russell was on the screen, it was pretty captivating. And I'm not trying to be like the women aren't exciting out here, but like his dialogue was pretty well. He was charming everybody. He was disarming them despite his crazy car. And I think, unfortunately, it still would have worked 10 to 15 minutes shorter in the first half, but like the sheer like how gruesome their death was in that car like was a crazy like dichotomy between the slowness and everything. It had to be that big of a payoff. That's what they painted themselves into this corner where it had to be tires running across the face and you had to show it from 4 different angles kind of thing. So that part worked, the difference between the two paces, but too long.
I'm climbing back up. Okay. So if let's say there are books I'm not going to say there.
What's a book?
There are books that you can read that will tell you how to write a script.
But Tarantino's going to break all those rules. He's breaking the rules ever since his first movie. And he's allowed to because he's Tarantino.
No, he hasn't really. So what this movie does is, if you look at those, I'm relying on other podcasts that I've listened to with people in the industry, not like us, about three clowns,
First
in
of all,
car
check yourself.
Talking about
I
movies.
resemble that remark.
We really don't know all the insides of the movie industry. If I turned in this script and I was taking a script writing class, they would red mark out 90% of the dialogue and saying, this isn't moving the movie forward. This is just a bunch of fluffy bullshit because you have a 20-minute movie that you're trying to turn into an hour and 13 minutes in the extended cut. And that is what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of superfluous bullshit that we don't need to know, that you can write the dialogue to get us to where we need to go. And then you can add in stuff that kind of turns it from all red to some reds and greens and blues and kind of, elaborates on it. But it is all just too much dialogue that has nothing to do with the movie, that doesn't move it along. Like, Mike, when you were describing the first part of the movie, I was like, the length that you're taking to describe the first part of the movie is all the dialogue that needed to happen, even in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I really think he thought his indulgence would be appreciated. Like the overindulgence on the dialogue would be appreciated because I think he thought more people would be in his head on what his vision was for that. Like he had very specific B movies that he was trying to copy the pacing of, and we're just not there, right?
Whoever read this script and greenlit it, Harvey Weinstein, is an idiot. And I would have cut so much shit out of the script.
It's Tarantino is basically like, here's my movie, motherfuckers.
Like, make it right. But I mean, it's just like it's just too much. Even in a Quentin Tarantino movie where you expect a lot of time, like in Pulp Fiction, when they're in the car scene,
there's 7 different storylines in Pulp Fiction.
Like there had to be like the back and forth, the witty dialogue. It seemed right and realistic, but even in this movie, it gets to a point where it's like nobody's going to react like this. When Kurt Russell comes out and he's like, "Oh, I'm putting you in the book," they'd have been like, "Fuck you, fuck off." It's like it would have been over in like 30 seconds.
I think he read her. He disarmed her. It was
that scene
cool.
Was great. That whole
it was just creepy. I'm like halfway through it. I'm like,
he was creepy, but like
fuck off.
He read her. He read exactly what.
It's unrealistic dialogue. It's unrealistic.
That's fine.
Some people don't talk. A lot of people don't talk like that, or as you don't get 4 people equally as witty as one Quentin Tarantino, like all talking the same way. But I get it.
I think he has this delusion in his head that what he is spitting out makes so much sense to other people, and has for so long that he got to this movie and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna play out great, and this makes sense." And
I don't think he cares what other people think. I don't think he cares what other people think. I think he writes them for himself. I think he writes it for.
I think that's the image that he likes to portray. But I mean, Quentin Tarantino. Look at the guy. He worked in a video store. He definitely has talent, but he is not a high self-esteem guy. I mean, he is definitely looking for approval in every movie he makes.
I mean,
he's not my approval up until Death Proof.
That's fine. I mean,
all right. Let's just get on with the movie.
I think we're putting a little too much. We've shifted the pendulum too far.
Okay, guys. I have a surprise guest who's going to be joining us now. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
I threw down the gauntlet last time.
He's not calling in anymore.
I told him I said come for us last time at the end of Planet Terror.
Jesus.
I got to listen to that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. So I totally derailed this. Let's go.
In all that we get, what do we get so far? We've got them, bar hopping essentially, right, and trying to make the plans to go to the lake house, right?
Yeah. So let's
guys. Let's get some pot, not from the guys. Let's get it from
Jaeger,
female friend, because then we don't owe her anything. If we get it from the guys, we're going to owe them to come over to the lake house.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about our trio here, okay? Jungle Julie is the first one we meet, played by Sidney Poitier, who is Sidney with a Y, the daughter of Oscar-winning actor Sidney with an I. Poitier.
So for real, I thought that was just like I want to get into the movies, but no, she's really
for real.
I love it.
Most of her roles before this and after were in TV, where she wasn't a main character, and maybe a show would get canceled after a season or a handful of episodes. She had a short run in the beginning of Veronica Mars. Most recently, she's voiced Cecily in an adult animation comedy called Common Side Effects, which is a Mike Judge show. I've seen a few episodes. It's really good. I'll probably continue watching it. It's getting really, really high marks out there. A lot of people
Common
like
Side
it.
Effects?
Yep. It's a thing on HBO Max. Next, we have Jordan Ladd, who plays Shauna. She is the daughter of Cheryl Ladd, who is one of Charlie's Angels.
Love Cheryl Ladd.
The real Charlie's Angels.
Love Jordan Ladd.
Yeah.
Which one's Jordan Ladd?
The one who's in the movie.
Shana.
Oh, not Shauna. Not Shauna.
Don't call her Shauna.
Don't call her Shauna. Shanna.
Right.
So Jordan's first acting role was playing the 3-year-old version of her mom in an episode of Charlie's Angels. Much farther down the road, I think her big break was in Never Been Kissed in 1999. Then she enters the horror realm. She's the lead in Eli Roth's Cabin Fever in 2002. Oddly enough, Eli Roth plays a guy trying to get with her later in this film. She's also Penelope or Penelope in Club Dread. Penelope.
Club Dread. Love that movie.
Another one called Madhouse. She plays Judy in the Thanksgiving trailer for this movie. She's in Hostel Part 2, another horror movie called Grace. Currently doesn't look like she's working anything, but she's in the horror realm. She's into this stuff.
Yep.
And then Arlene or Butterfly is played by Vanessa Ferlito. Don't think she has famous parents. Born in Brooklyn, New York. Not sure if you can tell from the second she opens her mouth.
From her face.
You could tell.
She did 11 episodes of 24, 2 episodes of The Sopranos, 26 on CSI New York. That means my mom knows who she is. In 2016, she began a run appearing in 108 episodes of NCIS New Orleans. Oh, my mom definitely knows who she is.
Hey, fun story about that.
Yeah, it's our good friend Scott Bakula.
When we were in New Orleans during COVID, they were shooting a episode in Jackson Square. We got to see Scott Bakula.
Final episode?
It was the final episode, yeah.
Yeah. We saw him running around.
Scott Bakula stretching and running around to tackle somebody. It was fun.
Look at you traveling during COVID, not sheltering in place.
We basically are
super spreader.
It was over. No.
It was after.
This was a year and a half after.
Oh,
21.
So, but like basically, things were just opening up.
Yeah. Currently, she plays Lorraine on the HBO Max show Bookie. It's a comedy with a couple of seasons under its belt, starring stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh, that guy.
You're a fan of his. Justin, you a fan of his? You like a lot of stand-up.
It's fine.
Yeah,
he's got a good delivery, but like I couldn't watch back-to-back specials. I guarantee you that much.
Yeah. So that's our trio starting off this movie. They're on their way to Guero's for margaritas and Mexican food. We talked about some of the things that they're talking about, stuff that doesn't really relate to me. Anyway, long story short, they're on their way and to Guero's, and stuntman Mike, we don't know it's him yet, but the car is following them, and we'll see where that goes. We talked about a little earlier with Tarantino being a man and writing all these female parts. There was a bit that he was on Conan O'Brien talking this movie up, and I really don't think he talked up the movie. I watched a clip of it. Conan asked him about writing for females when you're a male, and he humble bragged about hanging out with lots of females in large groups pretty often, and he just listened to how they talked, and it kind of got cemented in his brain, and that helped him write things like this.
Even that, like, you're still hanging out with the group that hangs out with you. Like, you're not learning insight. You're learning people who are like you, how they talk, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, good enough reason, I guess.
Yeah. So they get to Guero's. The next long drawn out dialogue part here is Julie basically putting Arlene up to this bet where their friend Marcy plays the role of a guy that's going to maybe approach her and read this poem and buy her a drink. And if a guy does this, then apparently on Jungle Julia's morning show, if a guy does this, then Butterfly, Arlene, has to give him a lap dance. And then there's some other stuff in there, like if the guy's ugly, just tell him you did it earlier and you don't have to do it.
Way too much dialogue.
Yeah. So then they leave there. When they leave there, this is, I think, only in the extended version. Kurt Russell is sitting in the Chevy Nova across the street from Guero's. It's now dark out. And he looks over and he sees Butterfly come out. And then he flips down the visor. And he's got a picture of all three of the girls on his visor up there. flips it back up, puts some eye drops in for whatever reason. But puts some eye drops in. I don't know.
So
and then he's
that
on
was
his
definitely
way.
on the extended version, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we get to the Texas Chili Parlor, and this is also the extended version, but the intro to the Texas Chili Parlor, two girls walk into the bar, and it's the crazy babysitter twins from Planet Terror. So this lets you know that this takes place before the events of Planet Terror. Zombies haven't taken over Austin, Texas yet, but we know now we're in the same universe, right? Is kind of how we know this now.
Kind of. Unless Cherry has a doppelganger, right?
Yeah, right.
Megan's doppelganger.
Yeah. So now we're at the Texas Chili Parlor. You know, you guys have any notes yet, or that I missed before we get to the large scene here?
Are we talking about him eating the nachos? Because that was disgusting. Is that the part you're talking about?
No, I mean, okay. They are. There's some close up shots of eating these nachos pretty sloppily. Yeah.
At first, I thought it was Quentin Tarantino's character.
So once we get there, like one of the first things I made a note of is Jungle Julia's on the phone with Lena Frank, who I think is their hookup for pot. I think that's the role she plays. And it's hilarious because I've had this conversation so many times when I was a barfly and you're trying to meet up with people. And Julia's, you hear her on the phone. She's like, "We're not coming over there. You come over here like you said you would." Like classic drunk people move. Like, we're all going to meet somewhere and then they don't show and you call. They're like, "Oh, we're at this place. Come over here. It's so much fun." And we're like, "No, we said we're meeting here. We're having fun here. Come here like you said you would." Classic.
This is probably a Quentin Tarantino classic Hollywood where it's cocaine. It's like, hey, I'm at Michael Douglas's house. You're at whoever's house. You need to come over here. Bring my cocaine.
Right.
I'm gonna pose a question real fast. If they cut out Eli Roth's character and his friend, and even all mentions of this Chris Simonson and all those characters, and trimmed out 20 minutes, would the movie have been any worse? So I think they did.
They did cut out a lot. They did cut out a lot of the Eli Roth and his friend bit.
That's
for
good,
the theatrical, because there's a lot more of it in the extended.
Oh gosh, I'm never watching the extended.
The storyline with the guys is zero added
to the lake house,
to
the whole storyline. They should have cut out the guys completely.
So like, is that where they're at the bar and they're like trying to get them drunk and tell them how they're gonna? Yeah. So there's like maybe 2 more minutes of dialogue there pertaining to, like, I think they're looking at Stuntman Mike and like he's eating the nachos. We're like, get a load of this guy, and like they make like 3 or 4 like snide comments, like,
he fell out of his time machine or something.
Yeah, but there's like 3 or 4 more that are cut out. Yeah,
BJ and the Bear.
Yeah. BJ and the Bear.
Yeah, Stroker Ace, shit that's like over my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Arlene goes out to have a smoke, spots the car that's been following them in the parking lot. We get some ominous music, and then another horror trope here. Her date, Nate, shows up and scares her. It's a jump scare that isn't the killer. But, they have this conversation where he wants to go make out, and she's like, right here on the porch, like not even inside the bar. And then
that wasn't in the short version.
6 minutes.
Oh, that wasn't in the short version either?
No.
Oh, so
what's weird is in the short version, she goes out on the porch and she sees the car and she is petrified. Like they didn't show her see him at several other locations, so it didn't quite make sense how terrified she got.
So she's already seen his car like at the other spot.
Yeah, she saw him peel away in front of one of the places, but other than that, it was just she saw that again, right?
Yep. So she's petrified of the car, and then when her date shows up, he wants to make out, and he's like, "Let's go out to my car." It's raining, and she says something about like it's Dom out there, and he opens an umbrella, and he says, "I promise you won't get wet," and she says, "That's not something men usually brag about."
It's funny.
It's funny. Yeah, it's cute.
Funny. In the short version, it just shows her come back inside with him with the umbrella.
Yeah.
Doesn't even show up.
Yeah, so then, after that, they come back in. We get to meet our next two stars in this film. Pam asks Warren if he can vouch for anyone to give her a ride, and some keys come sliding down the counter. It's Rose McGowan playing Pam. We covered her in great detail in the Planet Terror pod. She's wearing a blonde wig and a hippie-like outfit, so that we're definitely not confused that she is definitely not Cherry Darling.
Definitely not
this
Cherry.
is a completely different person. And we get Kurt Russell as Stuntman Mike. His name is Stuntman Mike. It's not Mike. It's Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike.
Mike's his last name.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we
no,
talked
he does say
about
his whole name at one point.
Oh, Stuntman Mike McKay. Yeah, he says his last name when we get Jungle Julia's last name when they talk outside. But yeah, we talked about Kurt Russell a lot on the Thing podcast. I mean, we love The Thing, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, Tango and Cash, Tombstone, Backdraft, Captain Ron. Just so many good movies. We love them.
Yeah, he plays his cards perfectly with Rose McGowan's character. What was her name in this one?
Pam.
Pan?
Pan?
Is it Pam? Excuse me.
Hello,
so yeah,
Miss Lady.
He's like, looks can
Hello,
be
Miss
deceiving.
Lady.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm a teetotaler, and like basically like disarms her all the way to the point where she comes over and wants to learn a lot more about him, and that's no, it's Kurt Russell. Like that's kind of believable. Even though he had the giant scar on his face, he still seemed like a likable guy in the movie at that point, right?
Yeah, and not too eager either, because he offers her. She's asked for a ride. He slides the keys down, like, "Hey, I can give you a ride," and then but he also is like, "I'm offering you a lift if when I'm ready to go, you're ready to go too." And she's like, "When are you thinking about leaving?" And he's like, "Honestly, haven't thought about it." So almost being like, no pressure on her. He's not too eager to get her in his car, and that kind of disarms her quite a bit, and kind of like puts her at ease. And he seems like a fascinating guy, because he asks Warren, who Quentin Tarantino plays the bartender, like, "Who is this guy?" "Oh, it's Stuntman Mike." "Oh, what is he?" He's like, "He's a stuntman." And
Stuntman.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. And then they have some more conversation later on about the things he did in his previous work and all that stuff.
This was Tarantino to a T, like just eyes glazing over, like with all the roles that he's mentioning.
Yeah.
How nobody understands.
Some of those roles Kurt Russell actually did, like was in. That's like funny. The Virginian and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When he was much, much, much younger.
I was going to ask, were those all like real roles, or did some refer to like later?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Tarantino just showing off his deep book of knowledge.
Showing off that he has an IMDb account. He downloaded that app. So the Stuntman Mike's talking to like some other girls and Pam about his previous roles, and I kind of could relate to this, because there was, at least for me, I worked in a restaurant when I was in my late 30s, so there was definitely people there about 18, 19, 20 years younger than me, that I remember specifically. There was a young girl that when like Spotify Wrapped was the first thing, like when that first came out, like was asking people what their list was like, asked me what was on my Wrapped list, and I was like, I don't use Spotify, and her jaw hit the floor, and her response was like, how do you even listen to music? As if there's no other way to consume music. I'm like, radio? I have an Apple playlist that I've been building for 20 years, when it used to be iTunes, and now it's Apple Music, and I just add to it whenever I get to it, like little by little. Like, I was afraid if I mentioned CDs, I'd be at risk of looking like a dinosaur. But it's like, basically like had that same kind of look where they're just like, the way they look at him describing all these roles and shows.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get outside and we get Stuntman Mike, recites the poem to Arlene, and this is a really tense scene where he's like, "Do I scare you?" And she kind of nods, and he's like, "Is it my scar?" And she's like, "It's your car." And I like how he's like, "Oh, it's my mom's car."
Yeah,
that's cute.
I mean, that was a good. That whole interaction I thought was pretty good. I know that
the rest of it makes no sense.
Right. Here's again where it's supposed to be about 2005 or something ish. We'll just call it 2003, 2005, something like that. And he pulls out a John Wayne impersonation. I mean, I know it's important to the character, but I don't think those girls are going to be like, "Oh, that's John Wayne." I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't need
That's
to, you know.
they didn't need
They didn't need to
but
get it. I mean, he was telling a story about like people have this book, and I'm not gonna lie, my dad would say that shit a lot about people. He would say like, "Hey, you're okay in my book," or he would literally say that shit. Like, or just talking about like sports players, like the Orioles would get a new player and he'd be like, "Yeah, that move's good in my book." Like he would say
the
that shit.
the phrase, but would he do it in a John Wayne accent?
No, he wouldn't.
And then pull out a real book.
He didn't carry a real book and write people's names in it. But he said this
chicken shit.
Awesome. Yeah. But he said that all the time. He said used like my book as a thing, like all the time.
Yeah, I think I'll slip out some of my books every once in a while.
So Arlene is about to go down as chicken shit in his book for not wanting to do the lap dance. And he kind of coerces her into it with calling her chicken shit, telling her she looks wounded, that he's been following him, and she's been waiting all night for someone to recognize her, and it hasn't happened. And she's a little perturbed about it. And so she gets up and tells him to go get, the jukebox inside's pretty impressive. Go get ready for your lap dance. And if you do not have the extended version, the extended version, it's in there.
I need to go get that missing reel.
You need to watch the extended version. It is a 10 out of 10 lap dance, my friend. For no nudity and no stroking, it's a 10 out of 10 lap dance.
Whoa.
It's good.
Whoa.
It's good. You need to see it. I wonder if it's even on YouTube. I wonder if it's just that clip is out there. It's good. And Stuntman Mike, he's kind of just like grinning the whole time, like serious, but by the end of it, he's just got this big smile. And I can't tell if that's Kurt Russell is just like amazed or if that's Stuntman Mike being amazed. But either way, Kurt Russell had a great time shooting this scene. He probably was like, "Oh, we might want to shoot that again." I think I blinked. I think I looked at the camera once or twice. Anyway, so after the missing reel or after the lap dance in the extended version, it's time to go. Everyone's leaving the bar. Stuntman Mike opens the door for Pam. He explains about the car, and he opens the door. And instead of a seat, it's basically a pipe that would hold a camera in place, or that a rusted out tractor seat can sit on. Yeah, with plexiglass separating her from the driver. Let me ask you a question. Are you going on this ride?
No.
He makes it seem harmless. He's like, "I can't get fresh and put my hand on your knee." He's been sober the whole time. He's like, "Hey, you ready to go?" She's like, "Yeah." Like he seems completely harmless, and the car's pretty badass. I might be taking that ride like an idiot.
You got Mike in that van.
In that car, like, "Come on, get in, Justin, get in.
You got
get
puppies
let's go."
in there?
I might be the idiot that is. I'm gonna take that ride just because it's a cool car, and yeah, Kurt Russell made a lot of good points.
He's like, "You are true." But I do like the. Are you about to do this? The breaking the fourth wall there. I do like that moment.
I love that.
Yeah,
that was cute. That was awesome. I like that. Get a little bit of smile. Tosses a cigarette. Like that reasons like that is why I love like Kurt Russell. It's just the little charm like that.
If the movie wasn't called Death Proof, like you could be like, "Oh, something bad's gonna happen here," but like I think you're waiting for something bad to happen from the beginning, so something's about to happen. But like this would be the moment if you weren't expecting it, where it's like, "Oh,
yeah,
something real bad's gonna happen."
Yeah. So he sees the girls pull away. He gives the left or right speech when they get to the intersection there, and the speech that I did at the cold open And he's like, "You're gonna have to start getting scared immediately." And then it's
that speech.
This could be, he could have driven down the road, and this being a Tarantino movie, they could have had another 15-minute conversation before he started, doing his thing to Rose McGowan, doing his thing to Pam. But right away, he just starts like swerving and tossing her in that side of the car like a rag doll. And I really, really like the shot from the back seat where you can see him driving and her banging on the glass. And it's like they're, I mean, she's like right there, can't do shit. Can't save herself, can't get him to stop, can't get him to, can't punch him in the balls. Like, and she's helpless, but she's right there. And, he's not even like physically doing it to her. He's just driving the car. It's not like a struggle between them two. It's a struggle between her and her balance inside this vehicle and gravity.
And the G's that they're pulling.
Yeah. And then we get a great line, I wasn't lying. This car is death proof, but to get the full effect, you really have to be sitting in my seat. And then jam, brakes.
Yeah, her pleading. You got the scene where she's pleading like, "It's okay, ha ha ha." It's a really funny joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was okay.
Yeah. Did she break her neck?
I think just
because it looked like
maybe her nose went into her brain, or who knows.
Oh yeah. She looked like she tried to sit up, but then when her head flops back down, there's like a crunch, and it actually kind of flops and tilts over, like there's nothing no longer holding her skull in place.
Shit broken in her skull.
Yeah, like it was hanging by a thread, and as she tried to sit up, that thread snapped and just.
Well, just like, I guess can go up to 200 miles, which is an unrealistic number for this car. But
definitely.
But like, just like Dale Earnhardt, it's not. Yeah, it's the impact and then how your brain goes back kind of thing. I think that's kind of what we're to believe happened.
The 200 mile an hour comes from the. Remember the cop
says it.
Yeah. Like, but that's like, this car's going 100. This car's going 100. So it's like a 200 mile an hour.
I mean, or one's going 50 and one's going 150 because there's no.
Right.
But yeah, any way you shake it, going that fast to zero, without a seatbelt or an airbag is, probably going to do some damage to the brain, right?
Problematic.
100%.
I do feel like, okay, despite this being mixed into the action part, all the back and forth between the other girls and the other car wasn't necessary. There's like, I don't need to know about Pete and like the old Who, like what the Who could have been called.
No, that Pete Townsend wouldn't have been in the Who.
Yeah,
it's
25 seconds of banter back and forth.
It's Quentin with the fun fact. It's
a fun fact that nobody knew, that not many people probably knew about, and it's an intro to a song that he obviously loves because he only puts songs he loves in his movies.
Yeah,
I think he picks out songs and then we'll write a scene around it sometimes. Like, that's all that was.
Unnecessary.
They reduced this whole thing to just them saying basically something along the lines of, "Can't wait to get to the late cast. We're gonna get so lit," or whatever, and then they're just dancing or whatever, and then the collision or whatever. I'm like, that would have been just as sudden and just as effective, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yep.
But that was a cool scene.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is where, Stuntman Mike, he says, "I'm out to find my new girlfriends." He leaves their pictures, dumps them on the road, drives away. He flies ahead of them when he catches up. I mean, they're listening to loud music. They're fist pumping. They're air drumming. Jungle Julia's got her leg hanging out the window, eyes barely open.
You knew that. You knew something with that leg was going to happen based on how it was out the window.
Yeah,
that was Chekhov's leg right there.
So he goes like a half mile down the road, turns around and shuts his headlights off, and then just revs that engine. And then scary as hell driving at night, just with no lights coming at you. It's something you wouldn't even think about. But I wonder how many people thought about it after seeing this, like driving on some country road, and if someone out there with no headlights is just coming the other way, like, I don't know. That could be just one of those universal fears that maybe not many people thought about until they saw this, but certainly scary as hell to think about. And then the second before he head-on collides with their little red Honda, he flips the headlights on. What do we get? One the first scene is Shanna getting thrown through the windshield. The second one is Lana, the driver, gets crushed by the dashboard, basically, is all the way up in her chest. The third cut of it is Jungle Julia's leg being basically cut off and landing down the road, still intact.
I thought Butterfly was going to live. She closes her eyes. They make a point to show her close her eyes. She's got her seatbelt on.
Yep. The fourth cut is the tire going through Butterfly's face as it accelerates through, and
no apologies at all. That
this car just basically treated this little Honda like a ramp and just chopped the top of it off and jumped and went on rolling down the road. Pretty wild.
Think was
wild scene.
Part of it. I think it was part of it. We're being lulled, we're being bored, and then all of a sudden, just ripped.
Too much lulling.
I know, we were effectively lulled.
Yeah, pretty cool shot. I mean, it happens so quick too. I think you mentioned that earlier, Justin. Like there's a lot of talk, and then they just, boom, with the Pam kill. Like that could have been more dialogue with them driving down the road before he starts getting into it, but they get into it right away, and then he gets down the road and turns around real quick, and then they kill them off those 4 girls like right away.
So at this point in the movie theater, we're over 2 hours in our seats. Could you imagine if this was the 7 minutes that you went up to like take a crap or something, and then you get back and everybody's like, dude, you just missed the craziest accident ever filmed.
Yeah, you're not getting up. So before we get to the hospital scene and the end of the first half of Death Proof, I want to talk about the drinks, okay, real quick. They have margaritas at Guero's. Shiner
beverages.
Yeah, the tasty beverages in this movie. Shiner Box at Texas Chili Parlor.
Yeah.
You guys like Shiner Box? I do.
Fine. Yeah.
I like Shiner Box. Followed by chartreuse shots.
Chartreuse.
Never had it. You had chartreuse?
No, a drink so nice they named it color
after it. It's an herbal liquor. It's sold for an herbal liqueur. Sold for, you can buy it at Total Wine for $77 a bottle. Rarer bottles go up to $160. They have special ones that come in a box that are upwards of $400 to $600. Never heard of chartreuse.
I'll take the $70 at worst.
No,
yeah, worth it. Maybe we should all
for hobo with the shotgun.
We'll throw in for one. Yeah, there we go.
We'll sip on some chartreuse and watch Hobo with a Shotgun.
I'm in. That sounds like a night.
Let's do it. Julia drinks a Bombay Sapphire and tonic with no ice. Gross. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is a young people thing, but as a server and bartender, everyone needs this PSA that if you don't know, no ice does not mean you get more booze. It's not how it works. In fact, if you want to make a good cocktail, you want to fill that glass with ice so that you get the amount of booze you get is not watered down with more filler. So you want that thing filled to the brim with ice before they start adding your liquor.
So in theory,
so it will taste like a drink. And it will get colder faster and not water down so fast. Whereas if you only fill it halfway with ice, that's just going to melt immediately, and now you got a shitty watered down drink. So
you heard it here first.
If you go out, do not order no ice, thinking you're getting like 4 shots of Bombay Sapphire. You're not. You're still getting.
You have to do it like the trailer. Ounces. If you're thinking about getting a Bombay Sapphire with no ice, don't.
Yeah, and then
in a world,
Shanna, she gets a big ass Long Island iced tea. That's more up my alley. Yes, please. That was a good looking Long Island iced tea.
I used to drink my fair share of the Long Island iced teas.
Yeah, there was a bar that I used to frequent after work all the time. That was Wednesdays was $2 Long Islands.
Was it Hula Hands?
No, it was a hole in the wall place, back in Maryland, and it was $2 Long Islands on Wednesdays. And not long after they did that, the bar went out of business. I wonder why. They basically gave the bar away. But it'd be great because after getting off work at the restaurant, me and my friends would go up there and get hammered for like $10.
That's like Casey's story the other day where he was talking about they were at a bar where they had $20 pitchers of whatever beer you wanted, and that included the dragon's milk.
Oh my God.
So they got a $20 pitcher of dragon's milk.
Like 16%er.
That's a recipe for disaster. That's what that is.
They said that was
way back in the day, I used to go to this place
penny pitchers.
That was all college bars, like one little street with nothing but college bars, and it was Drinking with Lincoln. $5 in, and you drank beer all night long.
Nice.
Well, there's a place in St. Louis that you had to get to like at 4:00 because they had quarter pitchers and such. Like they ran out of pitchers, like physical pitchers for all the customers. So you didn't get there in time. Anyway, we went way off topic.
No, you're good. Julia, she orders 6 shots of wild turkey.
Yeah,
for it.
Been there before.
Yeah. Stuntman Mike drinking some club soda and lime as he works his way up to his big drink, a virgin pina colada. No thanks. I used to drink club soda and lime when I was underage so that I would blend in with the people that were allowed to drink before I got like a fake ID. But when I first got in the military, everyone else that was like able to go to bars and drink, and if I go out, I'd get like club soda and lime, so it looked like I was part of the group.
It's a good tasty beverage.
Instead of standing there with like a giant cup of Coca-Cola or something, I'm like, no, I got a drink.
Crazy straw.
Yeah, right. Pam, she orders a Cadillac Cabo Wabo margarita, which I don't know what that is. I know Cabo Wabo is a tequila by Sammy Hagar.
Like top shelf with more.
It was a big ass margarita, that's for sure. It was in like a cowboy boot or something.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, but those are the drinks, man. Texas Chili Parlor. That I think they use like the real places.
They did
for filming
they gave
these
credits at the end of the movie. They gave credits to all the places they went to.
This is my kind of place. Like bars like that, or that's my kind of bar. Where like good music, good company. You can sit around with your friends and actually have conversation and not be blared out by some shitting music. I mean, good music in this bar, but this is my kind of place. Kind of a dive. I love
lap dances being tossed around.
Yeah, if you say the right words, if you listen to the right morning show, I guess. Anything else from the first half of Death Proof?
No, except
Can
for
we do any more?
The blocks. Except for the blocks. We get to see the Planet Terror characters, the blocks at the end. We get to see that Harley Shelton doesn't like that character. We find out she's got a brother, blah, blah, blah. But that's where he gives the line where it's like 200 pounds and 2 tons of metal. And DA says there's no crime.
Yeah, it was pretty long, his Sheriff Earl's diatribe there. And he wants to make sure he doesn't do it again in Texas. He's like, I can't prove it. And I guess that's where Stuntman Mike was like really calculated, because he didn't drink. He was offered weed by Julia and he didn't take it. When they, the girls he targeted, they're all drunk and high, every one of them in that car. And then when he crashes into him, he pulls his headlights on at the last second. So if anybody's investigating and they look at the car, they're going to be like, well, the headlights were on. So they're going to think that it was the Honda that crossed over the center line, or that, initiated the collision, basically, and he'll get off.
Until you see what the inside of that car looks like. It's a freaking stunt car.
Yeah. And they mentioned something that she was a hitchhiker, and I'm not sure what, I think
Pam was looking
for a ride. I think they mentioned like the hitchhiker in the passenger seat, something like that.
But
yeah,
she knew
they were like, they said that she had asked for the ride. He didn't just pull her in. So
yeah.
And then later on, we find out he's not a teetotaler because he's got a bottle of Jack or something in his glove box.
4 Roses.
Oh, yeah, it was 4 Roses. I was going to drink some 4 Roses for the occasion, but I don't know if I have any left.
Yeah. Sheriff Earl here says, right at the end, he says to his son, he said, each one of them princess died. Ouch. That's a harsh line.
Too soon.
Right. Yeah. So we're into the second half of the movie. Quick cut. It's now 14 months later. Stuntman Mike's in Lebanon, Tennessee. And he's hunting a new group of girls. So he pulls in there's also a big extended scene here as well, which I think could have been in the regular cut of the movie to just let you know even more how creepy Stuntman Mike really is. So he's sitting in front of the Circle K or Circle A, whatever it's called in this one, sitting in the parking lot. Yellow Mustang is sitting, next to him. And so he, before I get into the cast here, he notices them. He notices Rosario Dawson's feet out the window, and he goes over to the car while what's her name?
Zoe Bell and
Zoe's not there yet. It's Kim.
Lee?
Kim goes inside to buy stuff. Lee is sitting in the front seat listening to her iPod, singing a song, just completely distracted. And Abernathy, who's Rosario Dawson, is laying down in the back seat taking a nap, and her feet are out the window, as one usually does. But so Kurt Russell, Stuntman Mike, comes out, and he sees the feet, and he's intrigued, and he wants to get close to those feet. He goes to get close to the feet, and he kind of tests his limits. He just brushes a finger across the foot, like real gently. And she kind of like twitches a little bit, like it was a tickle, but it doesn't wake her up. Then he throws his keys down on the ground, and then he gets down real close to her feet and sticks his tongue out and tries to lick her feet or rub his 5 o'clock shadow against them. And that wakes her up, but then he plays it off like, where are my keys? Oh, and he bends down and picks his keys up as if he bumped into her feet going to find his keys.
The old drop your keys and put your stubble on a feet trick.
Yeah.
We've all done that.
Classic.
Who hasn't?
Classic. And so he does this, which is super creepy and not consensual foot play, I would say. But Rosario Dawson, recognizes him, which is the same thing that happened to Butterfly in the first half, is a scene that was in the extended version only, where she sees Stuntman Mike across the street, later sees the car, and she's petrified because the car. Same thing happens here, that she sees Stuntman Mike, and then later, when they see him again, she's like, oh, fuck. Like, I know that I've seen this person,
Important to notice, this is car 2.0. This is a different car.
Yeah, not sure why that was all cut out. Yeah, so the first one was a 67 or a 70 Chevy Nova or a 67 Chevy Nova. Yep. This one's a 69 Dodge Charger. Still has the rubber duck hood ornament.
Yeah, he kept the ornament. He kept the decal, yeah.
Yep. And the yellow Mustang with the red interior has a little pink sticker on the back that says Little Pussy Wagon as a callback to Kill Bill. Buck's truck is yellow with a red interior called Pussy Wagon. Yeah. So let's meet the cast here for the second half of Death Proof. Rosario Dawson plays Abernathy. Who the fuck names their girl Abernathy? I know Abigail, if you want an Abby for short. But man, Abernathy? I think they even joke about that name.
Yeah, what's your first name?
Yeah, what's your first name? Dude, Rosario Dawson works, man. 433 credits to her name. She fucking works.
Yeah.
First real role was in 1995's Kids. That's a tough hang for sure. She's in a couple of Spike Lee joints. He Got Game, 25th Hour. She's also in Sin City before this with Robert Rodriguez. Does Clerks 2, comes back in Clerks 3.
Alexander, she was in that one.
Yeah.
With Colin Farrell.
Oh, yeah.
She's in Tony Scott's last film, Unstoppable, in 2010, with Denzel Washington and the Runaway Train. Unstoppable is apparently one of Quentin Tarantino's all-time favorite movies. I remember seeing that movie and being like, oh, that was cool. But like, for such a film head, a film nerd, a nut, someone who's seen more movies than anyone on planet Earth probably, like, that's one of Quentin's like all-time favorites, like all-time. Like,
because Rosario's feet's in it.
Maybe, I don't know. We got Tracy Toms as Kim. She's from Baltimore. Woohoo! Represent. She graduated from the Baltimore School of the Arts before going to Howard University, which is in D.C. went to the prestigious Juilliard. She starred in Rent, also alongside Rosario Dawson, and played the part on Broadway as well. Had a part in The Devil Wears Prada before this. Lately, she's been in 63 episodes of 911. If you watch that sort of thing, I think that.
So your mom knows who she is.
I think 911 is a bridge too far for my mom. She's like, that's too outrageous. Like, those stories are way too outrageous. I'm like, okay.
If it has the word, like if it has the city in the title, she's in though. Chicago Fire, you're like, I'm in.
Oh, she watches all the Chicagos. She loves the Chicagos for sure. Then we got my favorite, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Lee.
She has your birthday, right?
She shares the same birthday and year as I do. She is married to Ewan McGregor. Maybe you've heard of him. Her first film was the kids' movie Sky High, starring Kurt Russell. The first place we probably remember her is Final Destination 3 in 2006.
I'm going to come out here and say Sky High was a good hang. It was a lot of fun.
I'm not going to lie. I've never seen it. That came out right at the time where I'm like, I'm not watching that kid bullshit, you know?
I mean, Kurt Russell was in it.
Like, we talked about Spy Kids on the Planet Terror episode. Like, Spy Kids came out where I'm like, that's kiddie stuff. I'm not watching that.
Kelly Preston was in it.
Yeah, Kelly Preston.
Yeah.
Final Destination 3 was the one that had the roller coaster bit to open the movie. Sticking with horror, Mary Elizabeth is also in Black Christmas remake in the same year. After Death Proof, she does Live Free or Die Hard with playing Bruce Willis's daughter Lucy. Scott Pilgrim versus the World was her probably big breakout in 2010. 2011, she's in The Thing prequel. 2012, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. 2016, 10 Cloverfield Lane. She is. We may have a horror Hall of Fame candidate here, guys. And
if we ever do actor and actresses, you know.
Yeah, if we do. Yeah, most recently was in the Hand That Rocks the Cradle remake, which through no fault of her,
Mike's favorite movie.
So bad. She was the only redeeming quality in it. The rest of that cast was so drab, so clueless.
You're gonna need to turn down your thirst because your wife listens to this. You're gonna need to turn that thirst down a little bit, Mike.
I'm saying, I'm just talking about a movie that sucked that she was the only good part of. It's whatever.
What do you think about her feet?
Never seen them. Yeah, so that's our trio here before we meet Zoe, who comes up in a little bit. Talked about the bare feet out the window. The trio, they go off to the airport to pick up their friend Zoe, as in Zoe Bell, a longtime stunt performer. She was Lucy Lawless's stunt double on Xena Warrior Princess for 66 episodes. She did all the stunts in Kill Bill as Uma Thurman's double.
She's a very good Uma type.
Yeah. Definitely looks more like her than Lucy Lawless, that's for sure. I'm not sure how they pulled that off, but
I mean, isn't Lucy Lawless from like Australia or somewhere down that way too? Maybe.
I really don't know.
Oh yeah, don't call Zoe from Australia.
No, she's a Kiwi. In horror, she did stunts on The Collector and The Final Destination, which I think is the fifth one. In Marvel, she did stunts for Iron Man 3 and Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, so she's very much established, and she's doing more acting now than stunts. I think she even has more acting credits than stunt credits to her name. But she does all the stunts in this movie as well. It was super impressive. Really good stuff. So we're at the airport. Stuntman Mike is in the distance taking pictures of the girls. Creepy again. For reasons unknown, Lee, who is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is in a cheerleader outfit, despite them being offset of the movie they're working on for the next 4 days.
I think they went from set to pick her up.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what it is?
I think that's you're supposed to. Like all the exposition he does, you couldn't cover that part.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, all the stuff about who each one is sleeping with on the set or not sleeping with on the set, all the stuff we can't relate to nor really even care about, and has nothing to do with the story. That's basically the very next long conversation. They never bring up why she's in the cheerleader outfit. Yeah. So that's about 10 minutes in the car where you're like, okay, none of this matters. They get to the diner. The only thing that matters in the diner scene, until finally Zoe mentions that she's been getting the Lebanon, Tennessee newspaper in Auckland, New Zealand for a month, prepping for her trip here. Is as the camera goes around the table, Reservoir Dogs style, one of the turns around the table in the background, sitting at the bar, is Stuntman Mike. And if you're focused on the girls, you'll miss it. But if you look at the background, he does what he does at the Texas Chili Parlor. He turns and he looks right at them. I admittedly didn't see it on first, second, third watch. But when you see a movie like 5, 6, 7 times, you start looking for stuff on the walls, looking for little Easter eggs, because Tarantino loves to put Easter eggs and shit. I finally saw it once. I was like, holy shit. Like, how did I miss that so many times? Because you're looking at who's talking. You're not looking at who's in the background. But it was pretty wild to see that. And then, Zoe tells a story about getting the newspaper, season of classified ads. There's a 1970 Dodge Challenger with a 440 engine in white, just like in the film Vanishing Point. So they want to go test drive it. And then they go to test drive it.
They go see
Jasper.
Sandler's friend.
That's Adam Sandler's guy, Jasper. He's also the trucker in Kill Bill that Buck lets sleep with the comatose patients. Pretty creepy. Yeah. He says they want to look at the car or talk about. They look at the car. They're amazed by it, and by how clean it is. And Zoe's like, I want to talk it over with. Yeah, Zoe wants to talk it over with her friends, and he's like, "Take your time, ladies." Not creepy at all. Zoe wants to play Ship's Mast, and Kim is like, "Hell no!" Did you guys know what she was talking about at all?
No.
Before
I assumed it would be a stunt on top of the car, or like involving outside the car. I assumed
this was This was the second time I've watched the movie when I watched it for this episode, and I was thinking, I was like, I couldn't remember, so I was like thinking she was gonna. When they broke out the belts, that she was going to stand on top of the car. That made more sense. If she's
that's what I was thinking.
Mast, like she's sitting up straight. But then after that, it's like more of what the fuck are you even talking about? This makes no sense. This is not a ship's mast. Like more Tarantino like insider jargon bullshit that turns out it had nothing to do with. I mean, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. We don't really know what they're talking about. We just know that like Kim doesn't want to do it, and
it's dangerous.
Kim is a stunt performer. I think Tracy Thoms might be too, like in real life, like Zoe Bell and her both stunt performers. But they convince them to let them take the car because they're just going to use Lee as collateral. Abernathy's going to convince Jasper that Lee is going to blow him.
Insinuate.
So that's I don't know, girls. That's you got some splaining to do. That's some shit us guys would do, not you girls, you nice girls, right?
Because it was dialogue written by a guy.
Right. They use her as collateral. Somehow she's just falling asleep in a chair next to his barn, and they like get in the car and like honk the horn like, all right, we'll be back to get you later. Stay out of trouble,
you two
kids.
Behave.
Yeah.
After she told Jasper she's a porn actress.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yep. So then we go and find out what Ship's Mast is. They stop in the middle of the road, and Zoe Bell gets their belts, and she gets up. She's in the car as they start going. She goes, "Hey, watch this." She climbs out, gets on the roof, grabs the belts while they're driving, and slides down the windshield, lays on the hood. Looks like fun.
No,
hanging on to dear life.
So I'd say this is where we're entering the best 20 minutes of the entire movie.
Yeah.
Minus
it's the last 20 minutes.
Of the first
is it 20 minutes
right?
Or is it 10 minutes?
It's about 20.
It's 10 minutes from when they leave with the Challenger to when they beat the shit out of Stuntman.
Oh, so it's only like 10. It felt longer though.
Yeah. Well, because once they get going, it looks like fun. It's only a couple of minutes, and then Stuntman Mike catches up to him. He sees them what they're doing, and he catches up to them, and then the cat and mouse game is on at that point.
Yeah.
Looks like a blast until a serial killer catches up to you with their death-proof car and starts trying to run you off the road. So they're banging back and forth. He's rear-ending them. Yeah, it's a good car chase. Finally, they spin out. It tosses Zoe off the hood into some bushes. Stuntman Mike gets out of her car, his car. He's like, "Hey, ladies, that was fun. Adios." And Kim, Chekhov's gun. She mentioned having a gun earlier in the movie. She shoots him in the arm. Yeah, shoots him in the arm, and he cries. He gets back in the car and drives off like, fuck. Like, oh, no.
Why?
I'm like, when did Kurt Russell turn into a big pussy? What the fuck?
It was the best stuff. It was the best when he's crying and then the spit take with the whiskey.
Yep.
As they're pulling up from behind. You're on mute. Mike's on mute again.
Oh.
Hold on, Mike. You're on mute.
On mute.
My bad, I just coughed, so I forgot to turn it off.
I know.
But yeah, when he's
drinking the whiskey
he pulls out the Four Roses, and you're like, oh, I thought he was a teetotaler. No, he's not. And he takes a swig and pours it in the wound. I mean, he's just crying, and the pain is just so bad. But yeah, when the car runs up on him and runs him in the back, and he just spit takes it out, and then the way like the dummy in the car, I think, looked from the outside shot. He's just flopping around.
Ragdolling him, man.
Oh my God, so good. And Zoe at that point, she gotten out of the bushes, right? She's like, I'm okay.
No, that was
so cute.
Simultaneously cute and hilarious at this. She just pops up. You just say, I'm okay.
They're worried. They don't want to get out of the car because they don't want to know, but they're both scared for her. And she's just like, I'm okay.
Yeah, somehow her makeup looks better than before she even got on the car. And she's got this grin where she's like, "Oh, okay, this is turning, right?
That was a close one."
You guys want to go get him? Yeah.
Yeah, and she grabs like a pipe out of the bushes, and then she's like riding the car like a horse, like like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, with like holding her pipe up in the air, like it's like she's jousting. And then when they get there, she's just like beating him in the face with the end of the pipe. So good. So good
stuff. So
then the chase is on again. The cat and mouse game is on, except it's in reverse now.
This is supposed to this turn from him being like macho and death proof essentially to like this crying baby is supposed to represent the fragile male ego. What I've read a little bit into. It's like once it's outside of his control, he's this scared shitless little mouse kind of thing, right?
That makes sense. That's deep, Justin.
So,
Are you a psychology major?
I am, but I did some research on this too.
Yeah.
So it's thematically it reflects fragile masculinity. Power only exists under controlled conditions. Hey. Take that, feminist over here. That's what Quentin is.
Yeah.
No.
So as the chase continues, there's a part where they end up on a crowded highway out of nowhere.
They take out so many cars themselves.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. Later on, they jump off the side of a road and pit maneuver him, and that's when they finally wreck him, and he flips over, and they beat the living shit out of him. They pull him out of the car.
They do.
He's like, careful,
my arm's broken. He's like this. She's like this one. Like yanks on it.
It's very, 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 very rewarding when they get him out of that car.
I counted.
That's the payoff. I think that they're trying to, get, I think it worked. Yeah.
I counted 37 punches to the face.
Do you think they were distinctively different, or do you think it was just how they were shooting it, like the car accident, where it's like we're going to show this one 3 times? Yeah,
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think they're.
I think they were just passing him around, and whoever he was facing after each one got their licks in.
Zoe's roundhouse is awesome.
Oh my God! Yeah, roundhouse kick, put him down for the count. What do you think about some of the punches, like the camera shot where some of the punches, like they punch him and it freeze frame for like a half a second? Like on his face, good. Just being like that.
So I thought, like, obviously they're not really hitting him. For those that you guys that don't know in the podcast world, that he's turning like away from him or whatever. Everything looked good, The punches looked like they were thrown well, and
Yep. The roundhouse kick takes him down, and then we get a freeze frame, and the end. I think that's a great shot where. After he goes down and the 3 of them like raise their arms up enjoy, and it's
But
just
it's not enough.
It's the car and stuntman Mike on the ground, center frame with the three girls around him with their arms up, and freeze frame on that. That's such a good picture. Like just that picture, just such a good shot.
Yeah. Good thing that it ended right there, right?
Yeah. Except for one more thing. Abernathy does that high leg kick and drives her high heel part of her boot right through the head for good measure.
On screen, I didn't zoom in or anything, but it does look like maybe like a cheek jaw kind of area. But still, we're to assume that this was a kill, right?
Yep.
We're to assume.
I'm calling that a kill. Yes.
Okay.
So
for sure.
What do we think of the second half of Death Proof? And did I miss anything you guys want to touch on?
I feel like it's the same. So two things. One, he gave up the grindhouse effect with the film. Like everything looked a lot more.
Everything looked super
clear.
It was HD.
Especially this. Yeah. There's a scene where Kim and Zoe are talking to each other, and they're trying to convince each other to, do the mask or whatever. And I'm like, this looks like, like HD film, and like there's no weird cuts. He gave up on the grindhouse thing for parts of it, right?
It went black and white for a few minutes, then it went back to color.
The final chase was great, and the final 5 minutes of the first half are great in my books. And then,
I'm going to say the second half of the movie is just like the first half of the movie. Way too much dialogue with no character development, with minimal character development, and then like 8 minutes of payoff. Yeah. And then we never know what happens to Lee. Lee is a separate movie. This is they go back and they find Lee.
Well, this is Martyrs. This becomes Martyrs.
Raped to death, and especially when he
whoa.
shows up with when they show up with that car all smashed to shit. What the fuck do they think is going to happen?
They're insured, baby. They're insured.
They're going to have to kill that guy. They have to.
So do you want to have the conversation? Do you think about what happened to Lee? Because I do.
Briefly.
I think she's fine. I think Jasper it's fine.
I think if there's another 30 minutes of this movie, I think they get back in the Challenger and they're like, what are we going to tell Jasper? And I think there's another 15-minute scene where they're driving back to Jasper's to get Lee and they're discussing how are we going to explain this? What are we going to tell
dialogue.
Them? Way too much dialogue. And then when they show up,
29 minutes of dialogue in 1 minute.
When they show back up at Jasper's, Jasper is incapacitated, probably castrated, because that's one of Tarantino's things that is not in this movie is, testicle and dick play with, getting them blown off, cut off, shot off.
Sounds like a Tuesday for Charlie.
So I think Lee incapacitates Jasper. Is that the right word? Incapacitate?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, is that a word?
Yeah. Takes him out so he can't move anymore. Yeah,
okay, all right, got it. It's late. I'm like, is that a word? Yeah, I think she chops his balls off, cuts his dick off, and he's writhing in pain. And then, so they were arguing about what are they going to tell Jasper for nothing? Because when they get there, it doesn't matter. Because Lee's like, Jasper tried to get fresh with me, and I fucked this shit up because I'm a badass. Because she is badass. And now they drive away happily ever after, not with just one classic car, but two classic cars.
They drive away.
That's what happens.
There's a huge explosion in the background.
Right.
Jasper's meth cooking lab.
Right. He was cooking meth. Probably had some women chained up in the basement, which they find.
Well, and then there was a secret society that came in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wait, we're mixing movies up.
See, I know you guys like Martyrs so much.
Yeah.
So The Ringer made a list of their top 20 car chases in movie history a few years back. I'm only going to do the top 10. Number 10 was Death Proof, this car chase in this movie from the last 20 minutes here. Number 9.
Yeah.
Number 9 is To Live and Die in L.A. Number 8, The Matrix Reloaded. Number 7, Gone in 60 Seconds from 1974. That car chase was a 40-minute long car chase.
with real
along those car
cars.
chases.
Number 6 was Terminator 2 with the T-1000 and the semi-truck,
and
the bikes. Yeah. Number 5 is Duel, the end sequence from Steven Spielberg's Duel.
Okay.
Number 4, Mad Max Fury Road, the first scene with the war rig. Number 3 is The French Connection, the 1971 William Friedkin movie. Reportedly, they filmed this pretty much illegally as they could not get the permits to do this in New York, so they did it anyway. And there were many car crashes that involved real people that they left in the final cut. But one of the great things from The French Connection is they put a camera on the front of the car for a great shot, like off the front of the car, for some great POV shots, like looking out the front bumper of the city and like underneath, like with the subway on top and going underneath the subway tracks and stuff like that. Number 2 is Bullet from 1968, iconic Steve McQueen driving a Mustang on the streets and hills of San Francisco. I think one of the tropes from that movie is a car has 4 hubcaps, and this Mustang loses about 28 hubcaps during the car chase.
What happens, man?
And number 1 was Ronin, the 1998 Robert De Niro flick that takes place in Paris.
The Ringer loves Ronin a lot more than I did.
Yeah,
fine.
I like it. It was fine. I've seen, like the last few of these. I think the only one of these I haven't seen was To Live and Die in L.A. I never saw, but
is that who? I don't know that one.
But yeah, I mean, Bullet's a good one.
That's not on the list.
A good one.
What's not on the list?
Something that's not on the list that you just gave, which I really like, was from the Bourne Supremacy when he's in Moscow and he's being chased by those
the one where he puts
special BMWs. He's going down the stairs. I mean, he's just all over the place. Yeah, that was a great car.
I want to say that might have been I think that those might have been like in the teens part of the list, if I remember.
What about the Italian Job?
And the original Italian Job with the Mini Coopers, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you guys have any favorite car chases or car chase scenes?
The Bourne car chase.
The Bourne one? You got any others?
Crazy. That was crazy when he just put the seatbelt on one arm and that he was all good from that. I'm like, bullshit, man. I would have ripped his shoulder, man.
Yeah. The Nicolas Cage Gone in 60 Seconds, they kind of have a line in this movie that shits on it, but I like the Eleanor chase scene in that, where so much happens and even as part of the chase, there's just some funny stuff that happens, like a wrecking ball knocks one of the cop cars through a wall, and somehow the driver's like, okay. And he gets out of the car and they're like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, are you sure? Because you just went through a wall. And there's this gaping hole where the car went through. And
Baby Driver had some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the banter between Delroy Lindo and Timothy Oliphant in Gone in 60 Seconds was pretty good. That was fun. Baby Driver, some great car scenes of that too.
Dark Knight had some cool.
Yeah, the truck scene. Oh my god.
Yeah. But Terminator 2 is probably the one that lives in my head the most, right? Where they're going over that bridge, off the bridge. I mean, into the LA River, basically.
Have you seen the movie The Chase with Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson? The whole movie is a car chase.
No.
You haven't?
I don't know. Maybe. When did it come out? 90?
Early 90s? Like 93, I want to say. 92, 93. But it's Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson, and he kidnaps her with a candy bar at a convenience store because he's a fugitive. And but he kidnaps her, and she ends up being the daughter of like this Donald Trump type character. And so they think he kidnapped her for the money, but he kidnapped her just to get out of that situation where he thought he was about to get arrested by these cops at the same convenience store. And so the whole movie's a car chase, but like the cops that are following him, like one of them is played by Henry Rollins. The other cop is Josh Mostel. And then like there's a cameraman in the back seat because they're filming like an episode of Cops or like a documentary on cops. So it's supposed to be just like a low key day, but then they find themselves in this chase, and then just like wild shit happens on the chase, like truck full of cadavers tips over and there's dead bodies falling all over the place and landing on the hood of the cars, and it's a comedy. Like a lot of crazy shit just happens like throughout. Like there's the news crew, there's like a news helicopter, and Carrie Elwes plays like the newscaster who's really cheesy and does like a terrible job. Like, it's fun. It's a fun watch. It's a fun hang. It's a good time. Anyway, back to where we were at.
Happily Ever After is where we're at.
Yeah. What kill was best? You got basically 3 to choose from, I think. Unless you want to individualize the
Mine's a chalk answer. Mine's going to be a chalk answer when Stuntman Mike gets the boot to the face.
His comeuppance is the best.
Yeah, his comeuppance is the best. Followed in my book by, oh my gosh, the tire over Butterfly's head was crazy.
Yeah.
Number 2, Butterfly.
Yeah, I think,
Pam was pretty crazy too, but like, Butterfly.
Yeah. Could you escape this? Where did our victims go wrong? I think Pam could escape this. She could have seen that seat and that box in that car and been like, you know what? I think I'll walk.
He wouldn't have cared either way, because him leaving was a cover to take her home, but he was really following the other 3 out.
Right.
So
it was a bonus.
She would have been like, suit yourself. He would have said that. Yeah.
The others, no, I don't think they're escaping in any of it. The other 4. The 4 in the Honda. They're just having a good time.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
He's not after men.
Do you think he flew by fast enough and went far enough for them to like safely say, okay, we don't have to worry about that car anymore? Because like we've all been on crazy roads like that where it's like, whoa, that guy's in a hurry, and we're like kind of on edge.
Yeah. I don't know. Who's the dumbest character?
Pam.
Pam. I said Pam as well.
Poor Pam.
You see that
he was adorable, but dumb.
You got to be like, no, I'm good. I'm not taking that ride. Even though I said I would take that ride.
Yeah, Mike's not surviving this.
I'm dumb too. So, a few fun facts for you. Tarantino credits Sean Penn with coming up for the idea of death-proofing a car. They were drunk at a party around the time Pulp Fiction was made, and he had mentioned something about not wanting to die in a car accident. And Sean Penn said, if you pay a stunt guy like $15,000, they'll death-proof your car for you.
Oh.
And so he said that term had stuck in his head ever since that day. And even in the special thanks, Sean Penn is one of the special thanks in the credits of this movie.
Here's a question for you. How far down a celebrity list would you have to get where it's like, I'd love to meet, and then you put Sean Penn there? How far down?
pretty far.
It's real far down.
We're talking like 100 people. At least 100 people.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Before or after Tarantino?
Oh, way
after. Probably, yeah. Because Tarantino could at least talk to you about, the movies and, all that stuff. But
would you get a word
way
in?
After.
Now, Justin, you're a talker, but I don't even think you'd get a word in with Tarantino.
I'm like, shut your mouth. That's it. Shut your mouth.
You're coming off stupid.
You sound real stupid.
The jukebox at the Texas Chili Parlor is Quentin Tarantino's own personal jukebox. He had it shipped to the set. The records and the writing on the labels are all his.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Only Tarantino movie in chronological order. No flashbacks. The Tarantino staple, one of his staples, is a camera shot from inside of the trunk as the trunk opens. In this one, it's under the hood when they pop the hood of the Challenger. Kurt Russell does all the driving in the movie. And there was one scene, might have been where in the scene with the traffic, where he was going about 90 miles an hour in the wrong lane in the way of head-on traffic, and nearly hit a citizen who somehow entered the secured filming area. He swerved just in time to miss them, and then he pulled the car over and called it a day.
Yeah, He almost got Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Mickey Rourke was the first choice for Stuntman Mike, but wanted too much money.
So glad they went with Kurt Russell.
Oh, me too. I think Rourke is too scary.
And nobody's getting in that car with Rourke.
Pam is definitely not getting in that car. Kurt Russell's got charm. He's got likability. Mickey Rourke is he's scary, man. You're not getting in that
maybe
car.
9.5 weeks, Mickey Rourke, people are getting in that car. But what happened to him later? Nah.
Sin City Mickey Rourke, you getting in that car?
Nah.
Oh, the wrestler Mickey Rourke? Hell no.
Yeah, no, hell no.
Iron Man 2 Mickey Rourke, you getting in that car?
Oh. Yeah. No.
I don't know if this one's true. Some of the stuff you read, you're like, I don't know about that. Because they put a lot of the deleted scenes on the special features and stuff. Apparently there's a scene that was cut of Stuntman Mike masturbating while upside down after the first car crash. As if he was he killed all 4 of the girls in the car crash and turned himself.
That's the only way he can. That's the only way he can splooge. That's what the sheriff said.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Splooge.
But apparently there was a scene cut.
Maybe if Mickey Rourke was in it, they would have kept it in, but not.
Yep. Right. Body count, pretty easy for this one. If you want to take a guess.
6?
It's 6, yeah. It's Pam, and then it's the four girls in the Honda, and then it's Kurt Russell, right?
Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike, yeah.
Yep.
How about your
DJ
gore
and
score?
The Bear.
Gore score? I mean, the leg getting cut off and flying through the air was really good.
Tire through the face.
The tire through the face.
The dashboard to the face.
Yeah, dashboard stuff.
6.
Caved in head. Yeah, I'm in that middle of the road though. Still, based on what we've reviewed.
Yeah, I put a 4, but I could be talked into going up.
Yeah, I'm in that 5.5 range probably.
I'll go 6. I'll come down to 6.
All right, we'll do 5.5. I think there's only the few couple things that are gory.
Leg popping off was crazy.
But that's
really
all that it is.
Yeah.
All the dialogue's pretty gory.
More like this on IMDb: Planet Terror, Jackie Brown, Hateful Eight, From Dusk Till Dawn. IMDb's got to step their game up. None of these movies are like car chase movies. It should be more like this. You should have car chase movies.
Right.
And especially the ones that they're drawing influence from. I've never
Joyride.
seen.
They could put Joyride on there.
I've never seen any of the ones that that they reference. Was it Crazy Larry, Crazy Mary, whatever it's called? Or they say that one 3 times, and Fast for Pussycat, Kill, Vanishing Point. Never seen those, but
that's another
at least put those as the one more like this, or if you like this, you should watch that. IMDb is lazy.
They are.
Let's talk about. I want to talk about our horror Hall of Fame. Is the director here, Quentin Tarantino, a Hall of Famer? I'm saying not for a horror Hall of Fame, but definitely in every other realm.
Cinema.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I was thinking? I had this conversation with a friend who listened to the podcast today. We should have given a Lifetime Achievement Award, the Alfred Hitchcock should have been the name of the category instead of having to feel like we had to include him with some of these more modern.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
It's like how the Cy Young Award is named after Cy Young, even though he didn't win one.
Yeah. He couldn't because there wasn't one, right?
Right. I get it.
Well, Alfred Hitchcock Horror Directors Award.
All right. We'll workshop that. Is Stuntman Mike a Hall of Famer? A Hall of Fame killer?
It's a good character. Good killer, but I don't think he is.
No.
But he had some good lines.
Are any of our protagonists Hall of Famers? Are the Zoe Bell
the winners?
The winners at the end?
No.
It was Abernathy, Zoe, and Kim. Are they Hall of Famers?
I don't.
Is the trio a Hall of Fame trio?
Well, could the trio be a Hall of Fame?
I'm gonna say Abernathy didn't do anything.
Abernathy was just in the back seat and
I could make a case for Zoe
and Kim.
for the stunt work, the practical effect, stunt
I mean,
work.
that's kind of that'd be the case.
Yeah.
Would either the Cars be Hall of Fame for a prop?
Oh.
Either the Cars?
The first Nova with
one
skull
is,
and crossbones with the crazy duck.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would say even if not the cars, at least like the hood or the hood ornament.
Okay, just the hood and the ornament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Stuntman Mike's jacket?
No.
The Icy Hot?
Oh, I think if you see that jacket, you know exactly what it's from.
You know Icy Hot? Well, she does call him Icy Hot.
Yeah, she calls him Icy Hot. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's recognizable.
The movie's not enough. It's not a big enough movie. It wasn't a blockbuster. It's not like a cult classic either.
That's true.
We think Planet Terror is a cult classic, though.
Maybe.
Not a Charlie classic.
No.
So, guys, well, we don't have any takes from Atticus or Apollo for this one. So that brings us to the end. Do you have final thoughts on Death Proof before we pass it on to our next host and their choice?
I say cut out all the dialogue and just watch the 25 minutes of action.
I think, definitely
20 minutes.
So I read somewhere that people think it doesn't work in the format that it was presented as a Grindhouse thing, and maybe it works better as a standalone longer film. But the thought of watching a longer one is daunting right now to me. Even though I watched them in 2 settings, I would still. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. We're like we can hold Tarantino to a higher standard. If this was just a movie that I happened to watch, on Amazon Prime or something, then that was pretty good, right? Kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I would have had the patience, though. Do you guys think you would have had the patience to indulge anyone else other than Quentin Tarantino for the first half of this movie?
Probably not.
I don't know. Yeah, no, probably not. But I mean, recent headlines aside, I love Quentin Tarantino. I did not mind this one. I even though it's so dialogue heavy, and even though the female characters are not relatable, even in the movies like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, those characters aren't relatable. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a bad guy, but it's still a good hang. It's still a good time.
Yeah.
You learn some stuff. He puts some nerdy little factoids in there.
Yeah.
I think we talked about on Planet Terror. I don't like in Planet Terror, like when he inserts himself and basically makes a character be Quentin Tarantino that would not say the things Quentin Tarantino says. But in this, it didn't sound like the girls were saying stuff that girls, I think, say. It didn't sound like it was Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I'm
saying
sure
these
some
things.
girl has said that. I'm sure some girl has talked about the perfect Dodge Challenger with the 440 engine.
Well, Zoe Bell probably has.
Point.
I mean,
maybe
Zoe Bell has. I probably would guarantee you.
Yeah.
If you're a gearhead, as they say, they talk about it. Like, hey, we're gearheads. We know what that is. Like, y'all were watching Pretty in Pink and shit.
Yeah.
But
I'd say the second half had a fun cathartic moment at the end where we got to see the comeuppance was fun.
Yeah. Comeuppance is always great.
Always great.
So, yeah. I like Death Proof. I think I like Planet Terror a little bit more between the double feature, but I do like Death Proof. It's, middle of the Quentin Tarantino hierarchy in my rankings, but, I liked it.
I'm glad I revisited it. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, sure thing. Absolutely. So
you're 0-2 in my book.
Oh. Well, I probably wouldn't
for the last two.
I wouldn't even have picked this if Justin didn't pick Planet Terror. I'm like, well, we got to do the other half of the double feature.
Remember, Charlie, your life wouldn't be complete without Mike's pieces, though, that he presented.
That is true. It kind of makes up for Martyrs.
And I'm not gonna lie. We're probably gonna. I did not think we were going to go this long on this pod because there's so much of the movie that is just talking, and we skipped over many scenes where they're like, they're going here and they talk. Like we didn't spend so much time on some of the scenes, but we
spent a lot of time ranting.
We spent a lot of time talking about Quentin Tarantino and his films and this film. That this is probably going to be like our second longest pod yet, with the longest being Planet Terror. So that means they're doing something right. If we're talking about it this much, what do they say? Like,
or something really, really wrong.
Yeah. Or Charlie hates it so much, he's going to tell you why he hated it so much, which is just as good as people telling you why they love it so much, because that's all you want. You want people talking about it. And I think that's all Tarantino wants, is people to talk about his movies. Like it or not, you're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So with that, Charlie, let's segue. You are our next host.
Yep.
So you're up with your next movie selection for us.
Okay. I'm going to up it a lot and bring us a movie that is chock full of fun, chock full of zombies, a little bit of gore. It's a good ride. Not a whole lot of dialogue, thank God. I'm going to go with Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
all right.
Horror comedy time.
Classic.
Yep.
Shaun of the Dead.
Love
Sorry.
White guys using the N-word.
Yeah,
you don't remember that scene. Wait till
was
you
it
watch
when he's rapping or whatever?
No.
Was it when he's like,
when he pulls up in the Jaguar? And anyway,
oh yeah,
save it for the episode.
That was Nick Frost when he's picking up Philip or whatever.
Anyway, it's a great movie.
It's
great
so good.
movie.
So good.
I like Shaun of the Dead.
I've already got a favorite part I want to talk about, but we'll save it for the pod.
Okay.
All right,
got some
guys.
red on you.
He couldn't help himself.
No.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I'll take us out of here. Thank you all for listening to the All Guts So Gory podcast. If you like what we do here, the best thing you can do for us is rate and review wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Justice to a friend.
Yep. Tell your friends. Share with us any fan mail, any notes you have for us. Tell us if you liked or hated Quentin Tarantino or Death Proof in the little link in the show notes where you can leave us some fan mail. Make sure you put the name of the episode, because we realized as someone send us fan mail, we can't tell what episode they're referring to. So if you drop us some fan mail, just put a little note like on episode whatever, and then whatever you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, Mike just assumes everything's martyrs that's coming through.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'd like to give a quick shout out to my cousin in Mississippi, Heather. Shout out.
Hi, Heather.
Oh, what up, Heather?
Big fan, big follower.
Awesome. We appreciate
First time
it.
listener.
Let's see. We have a mini coming up this week. We don't know yet. We got to tape those. We got to tape a mini for this week. So we'll see if we have one of those for Thursday. And then that's about it. Follow us on Instagram at allgutssogorypod. I am Stuntman Mike, or Jungle Justin and Butterfly Charlie.
Yep.
This is All Guts So Gory. This was Death Proof. Andy, take us home.
This is the end, friend.